What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Steel City Live here on Mike Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason. If you're not watching it now, you can watch it later. Appreciate you all for stopping through here on the live show. Our second show of the day here. I'm doing a little something, a little different here also because we have some shitty internet today. So tomorrow I have to go to the Xfinity store not buy, exchange my router for a new router. So here I am yet again dealing with this. So since we've moved in here, our internet has been absolutely trash, man. You all have known that. It's been so much more difficult since we got here than it was at our old house with the internet. We put Wi-Fi extenders in throughout the house. There's other options that I could do, but coming to find out that possibly my router might be the issue, so I'm going to go and get that. So I have no computer. I'm trying to get it to log on to the Wi-Fi network now. It's just over here doing its thing. We'll see if that ends up happening. But hey, it is what it is. Freestyle, man. That's how I roll. I freestyle it. I do it anyway. I freestyle it anyway, so it really doesn't matter. I also want to talk about the defensive and offensive captains for 2024 for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Also, I want to dive into maybe some possible packages for one Justin Fields here in 2024 and what that possibly can mean for the Pittsburgh Steelers in terms of adding some depth and layers to that offense here and really trying to be as eccentric as possible, but yet still be that smash mouth football team that I think the Steelers so hope they can be. So there's several things I want to get down with and talk about those couple things included. We'll get to the chat here. Miss Pittsburgh, what's up? Crazy Kid, what's up? TD, what's up? Robert Road, what's up, man? TD, Brent, yeah, got y'all. But as always, guys, make sure you're hitting a shit out of that like button, man. Did a little bit of meetings today with some people that might do some work here. So things might be on the up and up. Formulating a game plan. I even have that all in front of me. So formulating a game plan for a show still like this, but through StreamYard. So that's a possibility. Possibly going to have some people doing some segments, things of that nature. Sean will still be with us doing all that. So, some exciting things here for the season, man. And I think we're going to continue to grow and grow and grow and have a lot of you guys in the chat, which will make for awesome conversation here in 2024 and just keep getting better and better every single year. What's up, Rich? How are you? Daniel Warman, hey, Jason, just wanted to wish you and your Steelers a great season. Stay healthy and hope to see you all in the playoffs. God bless. Yeah, man, I want nothing more than the AFC North teams to succeed this year, and I'll be involved in postseason play, at least the majority of them, because I just feel like that's, hey, our division. I want to see it work. So likewise, Daniel, over to you guys, and hopefully we'll see you. Guys, here's another thing that I got going on, which it is what it is. It's the season. My kid had some kids stay over this weekend. I wake up this morning and my voice is literally all like razor blades in the back of my throat, but it is the season. There's nothing you can do about it. We're all going to get the shit. So I'm just going to probably drink more than I normally do. So just bear with me a little bit. Brent wants to know what announcers are Steelers fans looking forward to and announcers that we aren't looking forward to as Pittsburgh Steelers fans. I'm not looking forward to the bland, the drab, those types of people. You say, for instance, a Collinsworth. I can't stand him. And it's not just because he beats down on the Steelers. I expect that. He's a Bengal, man. He played his professional career with the Cincinnati Bengals. I just don't get into his voice. I just don't get into what he's bringing to the table as an announcer. So I'm not looking forward to him. And another thing I'm not looking forward to for the NFL season is a bunch of people out there that are commentating these games that don't have the slightest clue. Sideline reporters that don't have the slightest clue. reporters that just regurgitate exactly what Mike Tomlin's saying is over and over and over again. I'm not looking forward to that. That's not entertaining to me. Have some thought behind that. It's okay to repeat things that these players or coaches say, but have some thought, some substance behind it also that's original to you, that you're thinking of, outside of the box a little bit. I just can't stand that dry content from the cable networks, man. And I see why things are going more towards streaming. It's just because it's just so plain and basic what they do, man. That's why, honestly, shows like Pat McAfee and shows like that, where they act crazy, they do different things, they talk openly, they have real discussions. Usually, at least they did whenever I watched it heavily. Those types of shows, those are what you really want to see. And announcers for football, you want them to be the same, energetic, different. That's just what I'm looking forward to. So I'm not sure what everybody else is looking forward to or not looking forward to. Good, man. Glad to hear it, Rich. Robert Road, think of a rock and roll roadie when you pronounce my name. Robert Road, the Road Dog. That's what we're going to say. Hey, that's what I want to, that's your new nickname for me. I gave you that nickname today, the Road Dog. I like that. That's from wrestling. That's an old wrestler, the Road Dog, Jesse James. TD, what's up, man? John Broadway, here's a crazy play, situational wing formation, corner fields with Najee pass run, liberty of statue play. Who knows? Yeah, I hear you, man. It is what it is. I have an offense that I'm going to incorporate this week for my youth team that I think could be beneficial in even the professional ranks, that I think is forgotten. And I know it's a very basic, a triple wing overloaded line. I'm not sure exactly. I got to look at the rules exactly how many you have to have on the line, off ball, but you can easily dictate that by just having people one step off the line and you're considered in the backfield. But I'm going to run an overload to the right or left and still be able to run weak side plays. So what I'm saying is center and then to the left or right. One of those sides will just be a guard and a tight end. And then on the other side, you will have a guard, tackle, and another tight end. So you're overloading that line of scrimmage, which you've all seen that, especially you old heads back in the day. You've seen those types of formations. Then I'm going to have the quarterback, an empty backfield behind him, but I will have three wings behind the overload. And I will attack with the quarterback that way in terms of, really forcing the hand of the defense to kind of figure out what the hell you're doing. And I'll still be able to run to the weak side, like I said, with reverses, with sweeps to the opposite side, just depending on the situation and how the defense adapts to the formation. And also, when I draw you up inside of the box with that offense, there's some pass plays that you are going to naturally, just by the formation, leave that tight end that's open on the opposite side wide open. And that's just naturally what's going to happen, at least at the youth level. That's what's going to happen. I could almost guarantee it. But why not try those weird and wonky plays is what I'm getting at with Justin Fields. Running the ball like that, putting a lot of blockers out in front of him and allowing him to go to work. I'm not saying that should be out of the question. And again, I know it's basic. It's not high tech like all these crazy things that you see in the NFL today, but you can still use motion out of it. You can still do things that are different out of those big, heavy formations like that. And I'm not opposed to the Steelers doing stuff like that to get Justin Fields and his athleticism on display. We're going to talk about that much more here, though, definitely, and talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers in terms of their offense to this weekend. Robert Road, it isn't easy to do, but I might try to sync up my up the radio broadcast. My last name is pronounced as if you spelled it Roadie. Oh. I have been called Road Hog before, but Road Dog is a new one. I like Road Dog. Road Dog. I like that. I don't know why. It just works for you, Robert. Welcome, Joshua. What's up, Joshua? Joshua Shields in the house. What's up, Danny George? Craig Wolfley would be a great guy to do the game. I love Craig, dude. I love Craig Wolfley. And it's not that I think he's so super exciting. It's his voice. It draws me in, man. Tony Homo. I ain't down for Tony Romo, man. He knows stuff though. I get that. I like him. Connor the gamer. How do you think the Steelers will do? I feel they will go 14-5. 14-5. You're including playoffs, Connor. I'm assuming that would be the only way they could get there. But I'm assuming you're including playoffs, so that would be 19 games. And that would be 3 postseason games. You're assuming that they get a round 1 bye, win in the divisional, get to the AFC, win the Super Bowl. I don't know if I'll go that far, but again, I'm going to stick to my guns on my prediction earlier in the offseason, and I don't really like to do that, but I just feel like 11-6, 10-7 is a really fair guess for this football team, in my opinion. Now, in terms of the playoffs, I do think they will be able to get a playoff win this year. I'm not saying that, it's a guarantee or anything, but definitely I think the Pittsburgh Steelers can overcome some of these playoff losses and not making the playoffs that they've had here in the last couple of years. Let me keep going. Brent, I still wish Troy Polamalu would announce. Oh, Troy, he don't speak. John Broadway, if you think that some of the national broadcasters are bad, you darn well that Tomlin will be in one of the big 3. Geez, oh no. Oh yeah, he will be. He will be. No doubt about it. I got to watch what I say, man. Some people, if I say anything about Mike Tomlin, no matter what it is, I'll get an email or a comment that'll say, oh, so you're trying to say fire Mike Tomlin again. Oh, I get that every day, man. It makes me crazy. It's like I never once said anything like that. But anyway, that's still bugging the shit out of me. The Road Dog, it ain't easy to do, but I might try. We did that one. Welcome, Joshua. Brent, I understand Collinsworth, but what's with the Al Michaels hate all of a sudden? I don't hate Al Michaels. He's just not out there, as much as he was before. I loved Al Michaels. He's just not one of those every week kind of guys, Brent, but I definitely am down for Al Michaels and would be supportive of any game he does for sure. The Pittsburgh Steelers will win outright as road dogs this weekend. I think so also, guys. You see the line right now, +3. The Steelers are 3 points or 3.5 points underdogs right now. If I were you, I would smash that bet. I think that's a smart bet for your Pittsburgh Steelers. It's really going to be conditional on what you see from the Atlanta Falcons, a team that's been searching for a pass game during Arthur Smith's time that wasn't able to really get that pass game going. Are they going to still try to force that pass game? How does that, mesh? How are you going to see guys out there really come together that don't have a ton of reps together with the Atlanta Falcons offense? Are they going to be able to be poised in the pocket and deliver the football, or are they going to lean on the run? You're really dependent on some of those things. But I think, again, this Pittsburgh Steelers offense is going to be absolutely lights out, dude. I really, truly predict that. I think this Steelers defense is going to have a mix this year of speed and toughness and real physical nature that is going to be second to none. And I really think this is going to be a top 5, top 3 unit in the NFL for sure. And I think that you're going to see guys like TJ Watt that haven't got in all preseason, Cameron Hayward, guys that haven't really seen the field, and Minkah Fitzpatrick. I foresee those guys to really go off in week 1 and really throw one of those big monster games out there. I look for a defensive score. I look for the defense to really put some pressure on there with their newfound speed at the inside linebacker position. I like Landon Roberts in year 2 with the Steelers coming downhill, being able to thump. I love the addition of Patrick Queen. He's fast, he's strong, and he can read quarterbacks and offenses at a high level, in my opinion. He's going to be that guy. He's going to be the head honcho, the green dot guy now. This is his defense. And I really foresee him to embrace that role and really run with it here in 2024. And you're going to see Peyton Wilson, man. And he is going to go out there and he is going to fly around. You are going to see Nick Herbig, young, hungry, out there zooming around. And you are going to see something special on Sunday with that Steelers defense. Man, I can't get on a soapbox with me. Again, guys, my voice is trashed. I don't think they'll win 14. Connor. Wave those towels for Miss Pittsburgh. USC Trojans ones. You know what you're talking about, man. Yeah, I could probably say more than you know what you're talking about out there as a USC Trojans fan. I'm just messing with you. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Do you? What's up, Beer Malls? Absolutely. Let's hit that like button and smash the subscribe button. I truly appreciate it for the best show in town. That's from Miss Pittsburgh. Appreciate it, guys. Absolutely, guys. We're about 15 minutes in here. So, again, make sure you're hitting that like button big time. That really, truly helps. It's free, it's easy. So, make sure you hit that like button and also share the show to all your friends. And again, subscribe. We're trying to hit 4,000 before the weekend. We're not far off. So, let's go ahead and try to get that subscriber count up to 4,000 before the Steelers kick off the 2024 regular season. Offsides edits. What's up, Mike Drop? What's your score prediction for the Falcons game? Minus 31-13. Who do you think is going to win, offside, Steelers or Falcons? I'm going to go right now in a big game for the Steelers, and I will give you my score prediction, and I'm going to write it down here so I know, and I'm thinking of all this in my head. I think, again, there will be a defensive score, and I think the offense will be able to manufacture at least 21 points. I'm going to go with the Steelers 28, Atlanta 10, and I think that is probably a pretty accurate score in my opinion. I think 28-10 is pretty fair assessment because I think the defense is going to be really smothering, and I think the Steelers will be able to run the football even with their injuries along the offensive line. I think Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, and Patterson are going to go out there and be able to control that time of possession in a big way too. 28-10 is my score prediction for here in week 1 for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Also, guys, make sure you go join that Pick'em League Sean put out there. I'll get him to post a link again. Sean will be with us tomorrow. We'll go through, pick your games for this week, week 1, and get excited about some regular season football. Connor the Gamer, I meant get to the second round. Second round, if they would have went, what you said, 19 and whatever, 19 games, yeah, that would have been the Super Bowl. But that's okay, Connor. I think I may have added a wrong two in my head, bro. But I get what you're saying. Roberta Campbell, what's up? I think the Steelers are able to get a playoff game last season, or get to a playoff game last season. Then they should be able to get to the playoffs and should be able to at least win one. I would consider that a plus, definitely, and a natural progression for this football team, at least with what they're trying to build with Omar Khan. Year 2 of Omar Khan, it's the natural progression to keep building, keep stacking, keep going. And that's what I kind of thought this year would bring here in 2024. A Pittsburgh Steelers team that doesn't necessarily have to have a bunch of help to get inside of the playoff picture and maybe sneaks out a win and maybe falls on their face in round 2. That's kind of where I feel like this team is right now. But again, guys, it isn't fair for me or anyone else to go out and pin anything on this Pittsburgh Steelers team right now in terms of saying how unsuccessful they may well be. I think that we need to get to see the real Pittsburgh Steelers here in week 1. You didn't see that in the preseason, and I'm thankful they didn't show that because last year in the preseason, our hopes were super high and just crushed. Just when you saw that offense and how poor it was just bad. And yeah, it was just not good. Rich Kuzma, it's going to be a fun season. I hope so. Brent Troy has the Mike Tyson effect. Voice don't match the violence on the field. All the defensive players are like that. Bruce Smith, LT, hell, even Watt. Too, I saw there's this interception this weekend in college football, and it was like the best interception you'll ever see. And, no. I could watch a Troy Polamalu highlight tape and see 5, 6, 7 interceptions in the first 5 minutes of that highlight tape that were far better than that one this weekend that everybody's calling the best interception that you'll ever see. John Broadway, hey, I got your back here. Speaking frankly, done with Tomlin, fire and send him packing. That's from John Broadway. He's about done. NWO War 616. They don't win only 5 games. I think that's a little bit far-fetched. Even if you look at this team on paper, they are far better than 5 teams inside of the AFC conference, and they are far better than 5 teams within the NFL. So 5 games, I just can't see that being realistic. I look at this schedule and I look at them coming out of the front half with more than 5 wins. I definitely think they have 6, maybe 7 wins coming out of the front half of the season. Then I think it's going to be a real battle after that. But I really have high hopes for a team that went 5-1 with a far inferior roster in 2023 than what it has now, and went 5-1 within the division. And when you're playing these teams late in the year that are in your division, they're going to be beaten, battered, and bruised. They're not going to be full strength. It's going to kind of be the same story that was written last year. You're going to have big name players out, and it's going to work to whoever's healthiest advantage. So it is what it is. But I can't see this team being worse than what they were last year. I can't see that when they're better. I mean, clearly on paper. All right, Brent, John Broadway, who are you going to get to replace the top coach out there, Wade Phillips? No, Wade Phillips is a turd. I never liked Wade Phillips. Rich Kuzma, this defense could be legendary. I think it could be one of the better ones you've ever seen. And I keep saying throughout this offseason that I think you're going to see Pittsburgh get back to that Blitzburg, Dick LeBeau style defense. They have now what, guys? The speed to do it. They have the physical bodies to do it. They have a lot of guys on the edges that I like. And I love a Corey Trice. I love a Dante Jackson. I love Joey Porter Jr. And I just think they're going to continue to get healthier and better throughout the season. And I'm sorry. People want to discount this defensive secondary. I think they quietly got a lot better than what they were last year. You're going to have a healthy ball hawk in Minkah Fitzpatrick. Everybody's forgetting the significance of what a Deshaun Elliott can bring to this defense and what he is going to be able to provide. I think people forget that KZ can also make some plays back there. He's not a scrub. I just think people are overlooking this defense in a major way, and I think they're going to fuck around and find out. This is what it's going to be. Beer Miles, John Moroway, if things go south this year, we may hear a fire Tomlin chant. You never know. You might, man. John Broadway, I'll be with my family in Heritage, Pennsylvania, watching the game. Awesome, man. No better way to watch a football game with family, food, and just having a great time. Just being around cool people, especially your family. Brett, if y'all were to name this defense, what would you call it? Steel Curtain 2.0? No. Fly Zone? Nah, no. Nicknames for those types of things have to come organically, Brent. You got to let the season start to play out, and a nickname will just stick there. Some yinzer somewhere will throw out something, and it'll stick, and that's what it'll be. But we have to wait. I have no ideas for it. I'm not going to call it a repeat of anything. We got to be original here, so we'll see what happens. But something will just stick, man, during the season. Offside edits. I think the Steelers will win. I think the defense will ball out. Brandon, the brand. He's a Ravens fan. Hey, man. Hopefully Lamar Jackson can stay out of a sweatsuit for y'all and maybe improve his record against the Steelers, which is a 1-7 record. Offside edits. Is Jaylen Warren back? I thought he had a hamstring injury. Yeah, his hamstring injury isn't as significant as many would have thought. Initially, he's reported to be back week 1 in Atlanta. Again, guys, I don't have my computer, so if I am off on anything that I say, maybe an injury or something like that, forgive me and correct me if I'm wrong. Roberta Campbell, have you heard if they are expecting Jaylen? Yeah, he is going to play. Brent, Steel Stoppers. Robert, the Road Dog, says, when I heard a guy from the national media claiming it was going to be a loud stadium for the young Steelers O-line to deal with, I had to laugh. More than half the stadium will be Steelers fans. Yeah, dude. Look at places like Atlanta. Look at places like Los Angeles, New York City, those places. You got a lot of transplants from the Pennsylvania area, from the Steel City, that go to these places, and they definitely fill up the stadiums. And last year, I really felt like was a smack in the face to Steelers Nation, considering we allowed the 49ers to outshine us at Acrisure. And I don't think in 2024 you'll see a repeat performance anywhere. Beer Malls. I like how Thursday's season opener is relevant to us. Hopefully, watch the Ravens get the L. I feel bad actually for the Ravens. Going to play in Brazil, I think, is ridiculous. Going to play in these other countries, especially in big, meaningful games, especially Baltimore, Kansas City, I think that is bullshit that the NFL is doing that. I think it's ridiculous to do that to your top teams. And I feel bad for Ravens fans because they're going to miss, a possible opportunity here with maybe being jet lagged. You never know what the situation may be. And even for the Chiefs fans, I just don't think you put two of the best teams in the league and you throw them over in Brazil to kick off the season. I think it's ridiculous. Wave those towels from Miss Pittsburgh. John Broadway, if you think that the standard is being complacent, mediocre, and or non-productive, then Tomlin's your coach. But my belief is winning is playoffs. Winning Super Bowl. Winning ain't done shit. Now, I agree, man. Success is gauged on what you have done for me lately in the NFL. And if you look at Tomlin, it's been a very long time, and it hasn't been lately since there was real success. And I say it often. Mike Tomlin has those kinds of deficiencies that people overlook and they want to sweep under the rug and act like he does no wrong. Now, Mike, I'm sorry. His clock management is bad. His timeouts and the situational football usage is bad. His challenges are bad. His roster management, bad. And hopefully he fixes it in 2024. But this is the reality in which we live. And I'm not making that up. Turn the tape on. Really watch his performances. Really think about situational football and what he is doing or not doing in those times, in those situations during the game. Blitzburg Delta. Nah, it ain't bad, but I don't know, man. Like I said, it's going to be hard. It's just going to be one of those things. Some yinzer's going to spit one out. All right, guys, we're about 27 minutes into the show. I cannot talk. I should have had Sean come on tonight because I am dying here with my throat. But and I hope it's not too bad. And I know it's very, very raspy. So I'm going to try to back the mic up a little bit. But hit the like button. Hit the subscribe, hit the share. I appreciate the consecutive viewership going on here tonight. Appreciate that so much. Just make sure you're hitting that like button. And again, guys, we are not far off from 4,000. So sharing the show is so important, man. All you got to do, there's a share button right there. Share it, and then it'll let you know. Do you want to send it to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever? You could send it and share it and allow others to come join in the fun of talking Steelers football and NFL football in general. Beer Malls, Kenny Pickett on the sideline Friday with the Eagles/Packers. Then the main event Sunday, our Steelers at 1. Then I'll follow it up with Browns/Cowboys at 4. I am stoked. Yeah, Beer Malls, what a lineup for a Sunday. My lineup will be kind of similar. I coach a youth football game at noon, which is about 10 minutes from my house, so I would probably miss the first 10 minutes of the Steeler game, which will be about 5 minutes probably into the quarter if things work out correctly. But we'll see. Fuck. I apologize, guys. My voice and my throat. But yeah, I'm going to be watching football all day, and I can't wait. Rich Kuzma. That young secondary can play, and they got Minkah behind them. Absolutely. And again, I think it's one of the most overlooked units on this Pittsburgh Steelers roster in 2024. I definitely do. All right, guys, before we get back to the chat, we'll start with John Broadway's question whenever I get back, the one right after Rich Kuzma. So make sure you're hitting that like button for us and get us over the 20 mark here. I think we're like almost to 20. Yeah, we're getting there. So let's hit that like button, get that over the 20 mark here real quick. And I wanted to bring up something before I went back into the chat, and that was the Pittsburgh Steelers choosing their team captains. Defensively, you have the great one, TJ Watt. And you have the aging superstar in Cameron Hayward, whom I think has to have a monster performance here in 2024 and really come out and give one of his best efforts ever. And it's imperative to his success to end as a champion in his career. Then you look on the offensive side of the football, and you are going to find QB1 Russell Wilson wearing that C for your Pittsburgh Steelers here in 2024. Russell Wilson voted on by the team's players, guys, by the players, voting Captain Russell Wilson to that spot. And I think that says a great deal about Russ and what he brought to this team here, being in year one and get voted as the captain. Also, special teams captain for this year. Surprise, surprise, Miles Killebrew. Miles Killebrew, guys, exceptional year after year for your Pittsburgh Steelers. All-pro type player. You just don't find him much better than Miles Killebrew. And what better guy to be a captain on this football team, especially representing those special teams in Miles Killebrew. I think it's an excellent group of captains for this year. I think it's a group of captains that are inspiring, not only with their words, not only with their just leadership in the locker room, but with their leadership on the field and their style of play. And I really, truly believe that they are going to be solid captains for the Steelers this year. Back to the chat. Brent, Blitzburg, boom, boom, boom. Nice. Beer Mall's got to size them up. Mafia, see what we are dealing with. Absolutely. And two, guys, I am been looking at the schedule, and I am trying to figure out, I don't want it to be a super cold game, but I don't want it to be a super hot game or potential to be either. I kind of want to do something in October where I think it's going to be, maybe a little chilly, maybe beginning of November to where it'll be a little bit chilly. And I do want to go to the game, and I do want to put like a, hey, this is where we'll be. Come holler at us, and we'll talk football, and I'll do a live pre-game show and a live post-game show, and hopefully the Mafia people or just subscribers, regular subscribers, hey, come and join the fun. We'll have like a crowd there. We'll get it pumped up, and hopefully it'll be a big win for the Steelers. I think it'll be something to do. I just was thinking about that, and I thought it would be cool to have like a little bit of a crowd of us, having fun, being pumped up about our Steelers. What's up, Big Russ in the chat? Roberta Campbell, John, I agree. Oh, she's talking to John. Rob Lightfoot, we will be as good as Russell Wilson if Russell Wilson balls to the walls and the defense stays healthy. The least will be is 12-5. That's from Rob Lightfoot. Definitely. That's the philosophy, Rob. No doubt. Russell has to be what, guys? Consistent. And you want to know why? Yes, there was some pushing in that Steelers coaching staff for Justin Fields. There were, and there were reports of that. There were some people standing on the table for Justin. However, I think Mike Tomlin, yes, he has poor roster management skills at times, but I think he made the right decision here, and I say that why? Because I think Russell Wilson, with his veteran leadership and his consistency, is what is going to be best for this football team. Consistency is what we need from that quarterback position this year. And again, that is what's going to keep the Steelers healthy on defense, by controlling the football and those types of things. And that only comes from a consistent quarterback, and that leads to wins. Steel trap defense. I like that one. Brent, John, I love it. Brandon DeBrand, 10 years without a playoff win, and depending on a Russ with his old knees, or Justin can't read a defense Fields. I think you need to look at the broader picture. It's easy to just point out the obvious smack you in the face kind of deficiencies, but you really get down to the nuts and bolts of a football team, and you really look and dissect every inch of it, then you can really formulate a solid opinion about it. And again, I believe in the Steelers defense this year. I think it's going to be solid, and I don't think anybody can argue it. And you would look kind of foolish arguing with it, saying that the Steelers are going to be bad on defense unless there's catastrophic injury. That would make it bad. But Russell Wilson isn't some out of shape, washed up turd. The guy's in immaculate shape. The guy can throw the football. I've seen it in person. I know what he can do. When he was supposedly injured with his calf, I watched him run around up at Latrobe, Pennsylvania, doing drills, throwing the ball. Throws the ball hard. I mean, come on. And for his so-called elderly age, I think a lot of people are going to be shocked at what Russell Wilson will bring to this football team. And what does Russell Wilson do best? Action game. Lean on the run, lean on the defense. That's what he won Super Bowls playing with. That scheme, that philosophy, and I think you're going to see that exact same formula deployed in 2024. And when teams like the Ravens come in and they're 1-7 with their star $50 million plus a year quarterback, and they're 1-7 against the Steelers when they started the likes of Kenny Kitten mittens. I think you should probably be a little bit worried when you're coming in playing the likes of a Super Bowl champion and Russell Wilson and this tenacious, awesome, fast, crazy Pittsburgh Steelers defense that is going to be a lot better than what you saw in 2023. How about the steel furnace? That one ain't bad. I like that one, Bert. Offside edits, terrible towel Titans. 100%. Brandon DeBrand, offense is bad. You're discounting players too, like Van Jefferson, Brandon, and I'm not going to just keep going back and forth, defending the Steelers here to you. But I got other questions and comments to answer too. But the Steelers aren't bad as you might think. Guys like Van Jefferson, that the only time they've ever been healthy in their very short NFL career, produced 10 touchdowns and almost 1,000 yards on a Super Bowl winning team. And he has one of these, a ring, something Lamar Jackson doesn't have, nor does really anybody on that football team, come to think of it. You're discounting a roster that I think might be far better than what you think. And I think you guys have gotten weaker on defense, if you ask me. Just my opinion. Now, I may be wrong. Again, I'm not going to sit here and badmouth the Ravens because I don't have the intimate knowledge of them. I don't watch them every single day. But I will have it soon because I'm going through my process of my AFC North teams as of today I started. So until the internet took a shit. So, yeah, I got to get back on that. Teflon Tomlin from Roberta. I don't mind that one. Road Dog. My favorite nickname for any Steelers player is for Nick Herbig. Area 51. Maybe the defense will be known as out of this world, pronounced out of this world. I like it. I like Area 51 for Nick Herbig, guys. Guys, people are sleeping on him, and it's going to be so funny to watch. You got teams like the Browns that have the defensive player of the year, the defending defensive player of the year that didn't even have a sack in the back half of the season and left his team high and dry during the playoffs. And there's little Nick Herbig to get in a couple snaps a game, leading or has more sacks than Myles Garrett. Sleeping on him. They're sleeping on him. Brent, I just hope I get 6 Bills defenders as Paul Bears for when I pass. So my defense can let me down just one more time. I'm gone. That's a good one, Brent. Hey, you win comment of the day, Brent. I like that. Let's pin that up there, old Brent. That was a good one, Brent. I liked it, buddy. Let me get back to the chat here. Offside edits, the Iron Curtain of Doom. I like that. Kate Thompson, the reality is the Steelers need to spend the bag. You got to remember, the reality of the Steelers is this. They spend the least amount of cash per season, and that's a theme that they seem to follow quite often. John Broadway. I remember when the Steelers played the Chargers, when they were in their stadium, and there was more black and gold. It was more than San Diego could take, move to L.A. Yeah, and then when they played the Chargers again in L.A., one of those nights when Devin Bush actually had a big night against the Chargers, I believe it was on Monday Night Football when Devlin Duck Hodges was playing for the Steelers as starting QB1. You saw that same thing happen again. The Pittsburgh Steelers fans out in force. You saw that last year when they went out to play the Rams, and it looked like Acrisure. It's crazy. We're about 40 minutes in, guys. Let's go ahead and hit that like button for us here on Steel City Live. I'm your host, Jason, as we come to you live every single weekday, talking Steelers football. And also, we will be live 99% of the time with post-game shows, just depending on the week when the Pittsburgh Steelers play, because I do coach youth football, and sometimes our games are at odd times. So, on those weird days to where maybe I can't do a post-game show, I will do a pre-game show, but we will be live every Steelers Sunday at some point. And let's keep going. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to see here. Russ, what's up, Miss Pittsburgh? Jason, TD, Robert, Ray. Yes, awesome, man. Good to see you, Russ. Robert Road, the Road Dog. Will be no edit button once you post in the chat. No, there ain't no edit button there. Hi, K. Went to Mounts game. PSU whipped us. How was that game, Russ? Yeah, with the rain delay, man. You should have come over and sat on the back porch or in the garage where it was nice and covered. Brent, Russ, we did. I was surprised we can throw the ball this year. Roberta Campbell, I remember when that was like every time they played the Chargers too, but the last season I was shocked to see week one and so many Niner fans in there. Yes, me too, Roberta. Steeler Nation from Louisiana. Yeah, man. Skeptic, what's up? Russ QB, what's up? That's from Beer Malls. Nathaniel Sampson, what's up, man? Steelers Nation, we have the hardest schedule ever on purpose. I just don't even think that it should worry Steelers fans, guys. Let's be real with ourselves. Do they play the division bad? Yes, again, you have the Chiefs. You have the Eagles. Those are 2 games out of the whole back half of the season. Are you that worried to play divisional opponents since 2020 that all have losing records against the Steelers? The only ones that don't are the Bengals, and they are 500. Are you worried about Lamar Jackson? Honestly, he has a 1-7 record against the Steelers. Does that frighten you? Steelers fans, don't be worried. Don't be scared, because the Pittsburgh Steelers will be able to handle business, and they will put that Hard Knocks show on notice, and it'll be pretty damn cool to watch the Pittsburgh Steelers run through the AFC North in the back half of the season on Hard Knocks. Salute Russ with his old knees. Laughing my ass off. Ran for 347 yards last year in 15 games played. Road Dog. I predict 6 sacks, 2 strip sacks, 2 INTs, and the defense dominates. Wow, that'd be crazy, bro. I love it. I dig it, bro. Hey there, Steeler Nation. I have no faith in their defense, in my opinion. I think you're looking at something completely way different than all of us are looking at, man. For you to say you have no faith in the Steelers' defense, Steeler Nation, I just can't get on board with that one, buddy. Jason Fick, they would have been better off with Mason. Possibly, man. You're not the only one that believes that. I thought Mason was just coming into his own, and I'd have loved to have seen him get a chance, but we just didn't get to see one. Cutter 412 Pittsburgh Steelers all day. From Cleveland, Ohio, in the chat from Steeler Nation, Brandon to Brand. PQ is overpaid. Not really when they projected him to be $18 million a year guy, and the Steelers got him for 13. I would say that's kind of an underpay. Yeah, man, Skeptic, don't pause when saying Nick's name again. You almost got canceled. Steelers Nation, what's the Browns? The Browns suck. Cutter, they gave Myles that and robbed Watt again. Absolutely. Myles Garrett, that was a charity, dude. That was like ridiculous. If that was that had to have been the biggest ripoff of all time in awards for the NFL. I agree, Cutter, no doubt. That's from Roberta. I am already on 2 different blood pressure pills. Tomlin, don't make it 3. That's from Beer Malls. Steelers and America's team. Team Cowboys not. I agree, Cutter. Happy Labor Day, everyone. Yeah, guys, happy Labor Day. I hope you all enjoyed your day. I'm not going to be able to go the full hour, guys, just to let you know, but I'm going to try to push it out as far as I can. We're at 43, almost 44 minutes already. And guys, I will push myself to the limit for you guys because I have respect and I don't want you guys to miss out on stuff and conversation. I try my best to push through, but whoo, baby. It is raw, dude. Oh, I might have a piece of candy, guys. Hold on. I might have a piece of candy right here. Stand by. Which I haven't been doing because I've been trying to be good with the candy. All right. I've been trying to be good with the candy and Tic Tacs, but it might help my throat. Ooh. Yeah, that might help my throat a little bit. All right. I love the Steelers. Hate Mike Tomlin. Um, his name is not worth capitalization. Much love, y'all. Rich Kuzma, bro. Eat a clove of raw garlic. That throat. Oh, I might try that, Rich. I'm going to write it down, man. Whole raw garlic. I'm going to try it, brother. I'm going to try it. I just ate a Tic Tac, so hopefully that kind of like that menthol in there. I even swallowed it to see, just hopefully it'll just come up through. Much love, y'all, from Brent. John Broadway. I like the duck. He was like a little Fran Tarkington out there running around, having the ball. LOL, duck, duck. My son liked him too, man. We went to a game, Bills, Steelers. We were at that game when Duck started, and my son was all pumped up for the Duck. Roberta Campbell, I am not worried about the division. I definitely don't worry about Lamar as long as the Steelers don't get hit with injury bug. Absolutely. And I hope they've got it out of the way here early. The problem is those NFC teams and how we play down to teams that shouldn't be hard. I would say they do play down to them, and I'm not saying Tomlin's teams beat teams that they should beat by a ton all the time, like blow them out. But if you really went back and did the research and really looked at the record, you will find against losing teams and teams that you should beat as Mike Tomlin's Steelers, that he actually has a pretty good record against them. It's just the ones that he does lose stand out so much, and they come at such bad, inopportune times, you know? You'll see the Steelers drop two straight to teams that they should beat. And those are the ones that make it stick out in your head as a Steelers fan. And it's so frustrating. Rob Lightfoot, just an update on the NCAA game tonight. Boston College 14, Florida State 0. 9:14 left in the second quarter as your Boston College is winning that ball game by a decent amount. Roberta Campbell, you always do put yourself out for us in Steelers Nation. Hey, man, I'm going to try all this stuff, man. Peppermint. I might try that too. John Broadway, Luden's cough drops help this out. Good stuff. I love Luden's. I'll eat them, though. Just sit there and chew them up and eat them. I wasn't prepared, guys, for cough and flu season and cold season. So, yeah, it caught me off guard. I got to get prepared tomorrow. How confident do we feel about Anderson starting the first game at O-line from TD? I am quite confident in second year Spencer Anderson. I've been high on Spencer Anderson since he became his Pittsburgh Steeler. I think he will fare just fine. That is my opinion. I think he is a young, good talent that is poised and ready to go. It is going to be a challenge playing left guard for Spencer. But if anybody can do it, it's second-year player in Spencer Anderson. Robert Road, the road dog, like Russ, for every day is a weekday. I normally say every day is a Saturday, but Steelers Sundays are the most special of all. Beer Malls. Yeah, I watched that WVU PSU game, thought of y'all. I was like, Steelers got Zach Frazier now. First couple of drives, you've seen a couple bad snaps from the new. Yeah, and they did feel that. The absence of Zach Frazier. However, they had to play a lot without Zach Frazier last year after the injury, I believe. I'm not sure exactly how many games, but they had to play a while without him. Try local honey, too, for allergies and raspy throat. I know you're talking every day, but wondering if you have bad blood sugar. Check, because I have a son. Yeah, dude, I do probably have bad blood sugar, man. I drink a lot of pop. I eat a bunch of junk. Let's go Dolphins from Icon EX, or EIX. Rob Lightfoot, honey, lemon juice, and whiskey or warm tea. I like the whiskey. Like Russ thought, Kuzma, LeBeau would dow this defense into a monster. Yeah. Rob, you're so right. Roberta, yeah, honey's supposed to be good too. Lay off the smokes. I know, Robert. I know, bro. I know it, brother. What you think of Tua better than Russ, and what do you think? And honestly, I think the Miami Dolphins have a really good roster, all around, really, really good roster. Would I have reached out there and paid Tua that kind of money if it were me? No. The answer is no. I just don't think Tua is that guy. That's just my opinion. Now, I think the Miami Dolphins have a roster that's good enough to win and win a lot, but it's just going to be really tough with Tua. I just don't know what it is about him. I have to study his game a little bit more, but something's off there, and I just can't figure it out. Something is off. I don't like the concussion stuff that he had going on. That always scares me off too, in a major way. But if I was the Dolphins, I might have chose a different path. JG Black, if this team sucked, I can't blame Tomlin. It's on Rooney's and Omar Khan because they don't want to spend. I think they spent enough this year in terms of contracts and did what they had to do. I like this roster, and the Steelers have always been a franchise that have built through the draft. And then you can't blame Omar for not spending cash. JG Black, that can't be an Omar problem. That can't be Omar Khan at all because Omar Khan doesn't hold the purse strings on the checkbook. The Rooneys dictate how much cash is spent annually. And you could blame the Rooneys. That part of your comment is exactly right. But the Steelers historically have been a team that's paid the least amount of cash per season out of any NFL team. That's just the way it goes. But you look at Omar Khan, he has spent what he is allowed to spend, and he'll continue to do that. And again, I think this week, and I think there's still moves to be made, so we'll see what happens. But the Rooneys would be the reason that they don't spend as much. Got to get kids to sleep. Have a good one. See you, Brent. Have a good one, buddy. John Broadway, well, as a former bartender, Beam and Honey works too. That ain't bad. If I was Tomlin, I would not rush Warren back or Fatanu. I wouldn't either, but Warren's ready, so you'll see Warren. Fatanu is still working his way back. I wouldn't rush that at all. I wouldn't rush a guy like Isaac Seumalo either. 3 to 4 weeks from now, we'll see when he comes back. Dolphins coach looks like he's 16 years old. He does. He does. All right, guys, I got to start wrapping it up. So sorry if I missed anybody's chat. I got to wrap it up. My voice is hurting, man. I feel like it's like breaking in the back. Like, ugh. But anyway, I appreciate you all bearing with me, man, tonight with this voice being so raspy. I know I don't sound right. We probably do my morning upload, but I'm going to do some of the home remedies that you guys gave me. So thank you so very much for all that. Again, if you're not subscribed, make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave the show and share it to all your friends. If you're not watching it now, you can watch it later here on Mic Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason. Until tomorrow's morning upload, and then with our live show where I'll be joined by my boy Sean as we break down Steelers Tuesday in week 1 of the first game as the Steelers head down to Atlanta to take on the Falcons here. So until tomorrow, guys, I'm Jason. This is Mic Drop Sports. Peace. Thank you.